Is it live now?
Yep, says live.
All right, cool. Let me go ahead. Wait for some. I'm gonna go
I
check
hope it
for
didn't.
myself.
I hope it didn't hear my last comment.
Nah, I don't think they did. Let me go ahead and make sure I can see it though. I want to be able to see that it is live myself sometime. Oh yeah, actually, I'll turn that down. All right, so we live. What's good, everybody? Appreciate y'all coming through to the RFL Breakdown podcast as always. And it is time to break down our first RFL team heading into season 3. First team on the list are the Toronto Huskies. Of course, I'm accompanied here by my co-hosts Mike and Preston. Say what's up, guys.
What's going on?
Preston's probably, I don't know what I think his mic's on.
What's up, guys? I was
there he is.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, but so we're just gonna take a dive into the Huskies real quick, a little bit of talk, a lot of topics to cover here. But first, we're going to talk about the Huskies a little bit as far as how they done this season. I'm going to pull up some things also to put on the screen for you guys to see. But first, we're going to talk about the record of the Huskies. Man, they were 14-2 team, had a fantastic season. I seen these guys going further than they did last season. Unfortunately, got themselves eliminated in the wild card round. I mean, these guys had themselves a really solid team. I felt across the board, made big plays on offense. Their defense made just as good as plays as well. Probably was the highlight of the team. Of course, guys know the MVP of the league. Of course, we're going to also have that for you guys to vote on still. They haven't forgot about the awards and stuff. But he won AFC MVP, so he's the most valuable player of the league on that side. The conference, but they had a lot of big players and big things that they've done this season. And what you guys think and what you guys break down of the Huskies?
Well, I think the Huskies were a great team. They made it all the way to the AFC wild card round, and obviously we remember that game getting eliminated, and we're obviously going to touch more on that in a second. But I think they were a great team. I think they have a lot of potential heading into 2018 season. There's going to be some things that we're going to break down, moving into this segment. But yeah, I think that they had an awesome, and actually I'd be willing to say an incredible 2017 season. Really kind of firing on all cylinders. So I'm really interested to see how they follow up in 2018 after that kind of season.
Same, man. What's your thoughts on the Toronto Huskies, Preston?
Hold on. Yeah. I mean, for them to go 14-2, I mean, it was good. A good year.
Yeah.
That is what that record was, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, they were 14-2, bro.
I'm around friends right now, so it's kind of hard to concentrate. But yeah, they had a good season. It was kind of shocking to see them go out in the wild card round. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but other than that, I mean, they have a good team.
Yeah, feel the same way. So we talked about their record, how they did during the season, their 2017 accomplishments as far as their defense ranked in the top 5, and so did their offense. These guys just were good all around the board. But
definitely,
let's talk a little bit about the wild card elimination, though. Like they lost to, I believe, it was the Aviators, right?
Yep, it was the Aviators.
Yeah, so the Aviators.
That was a heck of a game.
Yeah, it was a great game. I didn't expect the Aviators to win. I'm gonna be honest. They were, of course, the underdogs, and they managed to at least get to the next round. But still was a shocker that as hot and as good as a team the Huskies were, that they, lost in their first game in the playoffs. I mean, the only 2 teams they lost to were the Bisons and the Red Dragons, who ultimately ended up winning the championship. So, and that was,
wow.
That was a shocker to me. Those were their only 2 losses. And then, of course, they took the loss from the Aviators. What you guys think about the wild card loss?
Well, I mean, obviously it was a great game. It was about as close as they get. Everything was down to the wire, and really, the Huskies actually had a chance to come back and win that if it weren't for that pick thrown by Hudson. With 20 seconds left, they were driving down the field, and obviously Hudson's always been great in 2-minute offense situations. But I think it was just a bad decision, and it's unfortunate to see him go down like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm gonna have to leave because I don't want y'all like to hear the background noise and stuff. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. I don't want the background noise getting into your podcast and stuff, man. So out of
It's
respect
cool,
for you,
brother.
I'm gonna leave. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
catch you on
cool,
the next
man.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll see you, man. Thanks, though.
All right.
Preston got to roll out. Of course, we're going to have him on more podcasts. It's my guy right there. It's just going to be me and Mike now breaking down the Huskies. And so I believe we already had each other's thoughts on the wild card round and everything on how their season went.
Right.
Now it's time to move. Were we doing the bus thing now, or are we just talking about the quarterback?
No, we'll go ahead and go. Let's go into the quarterbacks.
All right. So, well, first we're going to get to talking about Brady Hudson, the starting quarterback for the Huskies, and how we feel he's going to do next season. Do you feel, Mike, that he's going to have that same fantastic season, the same MVP season that he had this season, next season for the Huskies?
I want to say yes. I think that obviously there's some maturing that needs to be done as far as decision making, which you really didn't see the whole season. Just kind of the last few games, you kind of saw him start to slip into, throwing interceptions, and whether it be throwing interceptions or fumbling the ball or anything like that. If he takes care of the ball, he is hands down top 3 quarterback in the league. But I just can't help but think, and I know it's crazy, but I can't help but compare it to the Atlanta Falcons season last year in real life. With Matt Ryan, I mean, you look at the season they had, their offense was firing on all cylinders. Matt Ryan was incredible, so it's really hard to gauge if somebody's going to be able to follow up that next year. I would like to see him make the jump because I think if he would take that step, he's already borderline elite in the RFL. He's one of the top 5 already. But I think that definitely minimizing the turnovers, and getting the ball to his receivers more. I would like to see him open up the run game a little bit more. But I think that he's going to stay consistent. I think that what he has isn't a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you on 100% on that, because I honestly think that Hudson is going to have the same type of season he had last season. The reason why I'm going to say this is because just look at his weapons he has around him. I mean, his weapons, his receiving core is just absolutely probably one of the best receiving cores heading into season 3. I mean, of course, you got Keith Guyton, who holds the RFL record for the most receiving yards in the game. It's not that he just had that one game either. I mean, this guy, he makes some big plays, and he can take any play to the house, as we also seen, I believe, in the wild card game where Hudson threw him a slant and he just took it all the way to the crib. So he's just very explosive anytime he gets the ball into his hands. And let's not forget about sorry if you guys heard that car just now go up, but let's not forget about Tyrese Maxwell, who was a rookie last season, who came in and he just absolutely did a fantastic job as a rookie. He is a sleeper, as we were talking about a little bit before the podcast, that guys are going to have to watch out for. I believe that duo of receivers is just absolutely special. And that's not even all the weapons right there. I mean, they got Samuel in the slot. Yeah, Wheatley, the tight end. I mean, that receiving core is just ridiculous. I don't see how you can cover all of these guys. And that's a big reason on why their offense was so explosive this past year. And yeah, man, that's really all I got to say about it. What do you think about the receiving core, though?
I think I would go as far as saying I like it the best in the RFL. I think that they have the best receiving core in the RFL just because of, you look, obviously we all know about Guyton. Yeah. We know that he is, he's equivalent to the RFL's Antonio Brown, or, you know what I mean? Deshaun Jackson, whatever you want to put under there. I mean, he's not the biggest receiver, but he's extremely fast. He's extremely agile, and he will burn anybody that tries to press up on him. But then you move over, across the field, and say coming from the defensive coordinator, let's say that you try and double team Guyton. Well, guess what? Tyrese Maxwell's on the other side of the field, and now he's going to eat up to whoever the corner is on that side. So you look at that, and then if you don't want to play it, if you just want to put one, if you want to try and take both safeties and put them in the back on both sides of the field to protect them, then guess what? Then you're going to have Samuel in the middle in the slot on one side, and then you're going to have Wheatley on tight end on the other side or the same side, tearing up the middle of the field. So there's really, it really is like a pick your poison kind of situation. And it's tough. I mean, I just don't understand how a defense is supposed to game plan for that. It's really tough. I would definitely go to say that they have the best receiving core in the RFL.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that. I mean, those receivers just I can't find any other duo. I mean, there's some good duos, I ain't gonna lie, in the RFL
of course.
Receivers, but this group is just like they got the speed, they got the height, the strength, they got everything you need at the receiving core, to be honest, and they can hit you. And it's just sometimes you're just gonna have to leave guys one-on-one and hope you guys can just make the play. And that's pretty much all you can do. But yeah, so the receiving core is good, the quarterback's good, man. Let's talk about a little bit of a controversy going on though in Toronto that some people know about, and that's about the running back position, Deshaun McQuarters, and the rookie who they picked up, I believe, out of Hofstra, Corey Leonidas. So he was a rookie submitted draft player a season ago in the first ever RFL draft. He came in with a higher overall than Deshaun McQuarters, but he did not start because McQuarters came off a red-hot season rushing for over 1,000 yards and had over double digits in touchdowns. So this guy, he was hot then, and this season he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Leonidas was the third down back for McQuarters, and when he got opportunities, yeah, he made some plays, but McQuarters, some people can say that there's some controversy going on about him, but sometimes he could be hot or cold. But of course, me and Mike was talking about that. So I want your opinion. What do you think about this Deshaun McQuarters and Corey Leonidas situation going on? Who do you believe should start?
Well, I we had this discussion before we went on the air with the podcast, but Deshaun McQuarters, the thing about him, obviously what I'm saying, everything that I say is not to take away from 1,000-yard rushing season, because that's still a great accomplishment as a running back, and that still means that you're getting your job done. But Deshaun McQuarters is a lot. He's hot and cold with how the offense is going. You know what I mean? If the obviously, and that's to be said about any offense, but if the passing game isn't there and it's all relying on the run game, then he's not producing the way that he is, or as much as he is whenever the passing game is there. Does that make sense? So when he's clicking on all cylinders, when the offense is clicking on all cylinders, is when Deshaun McQuarters is at his best. Yeah. That being said, we don't know what Leonidas can do. I mean, obviously he was in the third down back. He was a third down back, and he did get some opportunities, but we don't know what he can do as a feature back. We have no idea, because really sometimes, I mean, I was always told diamonds do two things: they break under, or they bust under pipes, or they create sorry, it's what was that saying?
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember myself.
I had it on the tip of my tongue. We'll come back to that. I promise that we'll get back to that. I'll have to Google it before the end of the podcast. But either you break under the pressure or you don't. You know what I mean? Either you can carry the load or you can't as a running back. So that would be interesting to see Leonidas. Me personally, I would like to just see one game with him as a starter, just to see what he could do, because you never know what kind of gems you have lying behind everything. But obviously, if McQuarters as long as he's got, you feed the hot hand. As long as he's having those 1,000-yard rushing seasons, you can't take the ball away from him. So I completely understand that. But I will say that Leonidas is probably just twiddling his thumbs, waiting for his chance.
Yeah, I can agree to some extent. But most of those points that you hit on, very valid. What I would say, though, about McQuarters is the only thing on why I say I don't feel he should lose his position is simply because of his speed. No, not his speed. He hasn't really touched the ball. If you look back at the Huskies game, they throw the ball majority of the time. Like, there's been some games where this guy hasn't even had 10 carries in a game, and this guy still managed to get over 1,000 yards for a second consecutive season. So every season in the RFL, this guy still has rushed for over 1,000 yards. So that's the reason why I'm like, I don't feel Leonidas has done enough to take his spot. Even though Leonidas hasn't had the opportunities, really, he's had opportunities, but with those opportunities that he's had, he hasn't really shown much. I mean, he shows he could catch a little bit at times, but as far as running the ball, I think he did the most damage or showed impressed the most catching the ball out of the backfield, not necessarily running it. So that's why I feel like Leonidas hasn't done enough to earn his position. And I have it up here. I'm about to pull it up now. I'm going to show you guys the offensive roster of the Huskies. Probably should have pulled that up, but I'm going to go ahead and try
By
to.
By the way, I do. Okay, so the saying is pressure does two things. It either bursts pipes or it creates diamonds. So that was the saying.
Yeah, that was it. I knew what you were trying to say because that's an old saying. I'm like, yeah, I know what he.
That's the saying. I had to Google it. If you guys want the honest truth, I had to Google.
Yeah, but here, can you guys see the rosters right now or no?
Let's see where we at.
I believe so.
And I'm trying to see. There we go.
Yeah, I think we can see. I see it on my phone. I can see it on.
Yep,
phone
I could see it.
Yeah, so this is the roster of the Huskies right here. I mean, look at the starting quarterback, but let's just focus on the running backs. I don't know why they got Leonidas up top starting, but even though he did have the better overall, he was not starting.
I think Leonidas is more of a Christian McCaffrey type.
Yeah, because I don't feel running the ball is really. I mean, I'm not saying that's his position, running back. I don't feel he should be a receiver, but I'm saying running the ball, though, I don't think he can do it better than Deshaun McCorders. And to be honest, Leonidas does have some speed on him, but McCorders, anytime he has an open space, let's not only put that the short runs that McCorders had this season just on him. I mean, their offensive line, as you can see up front, got some pretty solid. Their offensive line, some of the times, weren't even blocking or giving no running lanes for him to come through. And he still managed to rush for over 1,000 yards. That's why I said, I feel that's why they kept him. You know, that's why Deshaun McCorders kept him. And I feel that next season they're going to do the same deal until Corey Leonidas, with his opportunities, he can prove that he can do more. Because, I mean, you need a home run hitting running back at times. Or maybe they could do, I hope to God Madden has it for Madden 19 when that comes out for the next season after this one, that you can have a dual backs type of system, you know, where you can use both backs. But that's the type of offense as far as running the ball I feel that they should use, is just rotate these two in and just to see what happens. But what I feel,
I was going to say, I would like to see, I mean, I'd be interested to see from a play calling standpoint, maybe utilizing Leonidas more out of, with the passes out of the backfield or the screens. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe just to kind of tie him in there, not necessarily as a third down back, but whenever on certain, obviously certain personnel groups and certain formations, where he comes out as, or even put him in the slot. I mean, Carolina did that with Christian McCaffrey, and that worked out well. You could, move him to slot on some plays or something like that. Yeah, I think just getting him into space would be good. But I agree. I think looking at it, I think that McCorders probably is the better feature back, obviously just handling, carrying the load.
Yeah. And another thing I could say, even for Mark, who is the head coach of the Huskies, if he can make those type of adjustments to be able to work on the personnel in certain situations, I feel like this offense can be even that much better. I mean, they already got the receiving weapon. Look at these outside receivers, though. They got Keith Guyton, 92. Maxwell, remind you, this is a picture taken from Madden 17. So on Madden 18, the receivers overalls actually go up by when I transfer the the exact attributes, they actually go up by 2 in itself. So these guys are Keith Guyton's really probably going to be a 94, maybe even a 96. Maxwell, as a rookie, his rookie season was an 87 at the end, probably close to a 90, going to be an 89 or something. So they got really good receivers. And this was exactly what I was talking about with their receiving core. So, I mean, I think we touched up, though, and finished up our thoughts, though, about the running back situation. I feel McCorders should start. I believe you said you feel he should be the premier back, but just find ways to get Leonidas.
Yeah, I would just like to see Leonidas involved in the mix a little bit more because he's a talented player.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So next, we're going to talk about the defense of the Huskies. Let me hurry up and get that picture out. Oh, didn't even pull it up right.
I know Toronto is split into two teams, but this side loves its defense.
Yeah, this defense is really solid in my opinion. I think I pulled it up.
It's not showing up there yet.
Not showing up yet.
There it is.
There it is. Okay, so it popped up. But this is the defense. I'm looking at this defense right now, and they only got one guy, well, two in the 70s. And that's just the middle linebacker, who's really the backup linebacker. Well, he starts because it's a 3-4 defense, but, you know, still, look at how solid that middle linebacker. I mean, Brett Rattay actually won linebacker of the year. I got to post up the AFC awards, too, also. Like, I just haven't had the time to get to it, you guys, but I will get to it. But this defense, look at the defense, the safeties, 87s, the corner, their best corner, Javonte Gibson, 89. So he's Mr. Straps out there. Lewis Curry, 78. And even their nickel corner, Woodley, I think that's Mac Woodley, 78 also. Looking at the linebackers, like the linebackers, I believe, is the most solid group out of this defense. And you can tell why just simply from looking at the overalls. And on the D-line, they were really solid as well. With just those three guys, but every one of them at 85 or above. So, I mean, this defense is really solid.
It's nasty.
Yeah, so what do you guys feel? I mean, what do you feel? Do you feel that these guys can have the same type of good defense as they had this season, next season?
I think they're going to get better. And the reason I think that they're going to get better is because I would like to see, and looking at this, I mean, looking at the defense right now, you see two things. You see the middle linebacker and the cornerback. The corner two and the middle linebacker two are both under B ratings, which I don't think it does them justice, because I was just in the Discord the other day talking about, I took a video of I took a video of Lewis Curry. He picked off, I forgot who they were playing, but man, he had a beautiful interception, just a diving interception that was amazing. So he's great, and I think he is a good one on the come up. But Proctor, I've seen him make plays too. So I think both of them are kind of under what they should be. I think they're kind of underrated right now. But that being said, that leaves rooms for potential prospects. From the draft. I mean, we've got a lot of depth at linebacker this draft, and then we have a lot of depth at corner.
Yeah, most depth, especially at corner and safeties. I believe those are probably the strongest groups submitted out of the community for draft players. But my take on this defense, I feel they will repeat the same type of dominance.
Absolutely, I think they're going to be better.
Yeah, I feel they are. And let's not forget about the nickel corner, Mac Woodley. I don't know if guys paid attention to the Huskies game, but Woodley was making so many crazy plays. He had interceptions and forced fumbles. I mean, he was a solid tackler. And most of the time I remember just from commentating, I used to say, that's Woodley on the tackle, or he did something. I mean, this guy was all over the place. Gibson was, like I said earlier, Mr. Straps. This guy, anybody on his side rarely caught the ball, and when guys tested him, he made them pay for it.
Yeah, Gibson's locked down. You can see that in his overall.
Yeah,
he's pretty locked down. Lewis Curry is getting up there too. Lewis Curry really is doing stuff. He's making things happen. I mean, I watched a little bit of the slot corner. I didn't get to see much, but yeah, I heard he was really good as well. But I think this defense is going to be better, and the reason why is I think communication is going to be better between them.
Yeah,
I think chemistry is going to be better because you're seeing there's a lot of young guys too on this defense. So I think that you're going to see him grow, and I think that you're only going to see him better. I would stretch to call him, potentially, the number one defense coming out of the offseason.
I agree too, because I mean, let's look at their defensive captain. I mean, middle linebacker Brett Rattay, man, like
he's a beast, man.
He is an animal. He's everywhere on the field, and that's why he won linebacker of the year for the AFC. I didn't post that up yet, but like I said, when I get the time, I will give you guys the AFC awards. But this defense, I mean, this is a team who I feel very well is going to go right back to the playoffs and
pick up where they left off.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get eliminated. Hopefully they'll get
they'll get their revenge on the Aviators.
Yeah, who I believe is going to be competition within that division is between them and the Red Dragons. I think the Red Dragons will be pretty decent. We're going to get to them though later on when we go to talk about other teams. But man, this team. I don't see no reason why they shouldn't be able to compete for the championship.
It's exciting, and I know we got a lot of fans. We got a lot of Husky fans too in the RFL community.
And that's the reason why they called for him when we asked what team you want to go first. Huskies came right on up, and so we got them out the way. And so next on the list, I believe this is our last topic. We might be able to come up with more, but let me get these up real fast. So that way I could be able to. Okay.
You want to do trust or bust?
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Okay, yeah. So we introducing something called trust or bust. So what we're gonna do is
pick we need interaction from the community too. They gotta put it in the chat too.
Yeah. So when you guys hear, if you guys know about the players or anything, just put trust or bust or why in the comments. We'll read a couple of them. But what we're gonna do in this trust and bust situation, we're just gonna say give one player each. And we're going to say either trust the guy or he's going to be a bust next season. And that's not for the draft. It's for the players that are already on the team. So first the guy that I want to do is – hold up. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you go ahead, Mike, because I think you're supposed
to. Come on. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So my trust or bust. Okay. Here it goes. Let's see. Where is he? Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's go. I'm gonna go with Denard Proctor.
Denard Proctor, defense. That's a linebacker, right?
Yep, that's the second linebacker. That's the one that was on the come up.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, with my opinion, I think he's going to be a trust guy. The reason why I say that is because, for one, I don't feel that this team needs to really get that many defensive players at all, because their defense that they got already is good. So, and Proctor, as we've said, he's been in on a lot of plays, and with also Rattay next to him at the middle linebacker position as well, I feel with those guys together, it just makes him even better. So, just for instance, he'll be able to, if he misses something, I feel like somebody else, or more importantly, Rattay is going to be there. So I just think he plays better around his team that he's with. So I feel that he's just that 77 that he had as an overall doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't think it does it justice. I don't think it does him justice at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and read some comments. I see guys putting trust in bust. So why you guys, why you guys saying, give a reason why you guys think trust or bust.
Sum it up short too.
Yeah, don't gotta be no paragraphs.
No paragraphs, please. Yeah. Out here reading the Harry Potter books.
I see most guys saying trust. Got one guy, Minitron says bust.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just want to see. I want to see Minitron's reasoning. Everybody else said trust. He's the one that said bust. So I wanted to see why.
Because in my opinion, I feel that they're going to keep him. So I don't think they'll draft for a second middle linebacker when they already have a 95 overall guy there, So I feel he's going to play. As far as him making plays and stuff, I mean, he made a lot last season. I think he could do it again.
Yeah, I think the only reason I asked that is because there could be a little bit controversy coming into the draft whenever you've got guys like Duke Pascal coming out of the draft, like just insanely – like really, really talented player. As far as the grades go, whenever you've got that kind of linebacker coming out of the draft and you look at a 77 overall linebacker, do you think he's going to stick with it, or do you think the Huskies are going to have trust in him, or do you think that they're going to, go ahead and go up and grab another linebacker to even out that linebacking core, the middle linebacking core?
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying, for me, he's going to be a trust, because I don't feel a team like the Huskies with as good as a defense as they had. Like I said, Rattay 95 overall, Proctor is the only weak point as far as overall wise, but did he play like it last season? No. So I feel that they aren't even going to be looking towards adding a linebacker in that position because they're pretty much stacked on the defensive side of the ball. I feel they'd rather go the route of finding like more of a true weakness within their team and allowing another team to, be able to pick up guys like Duke Pascal and things in the draft just so they could be able to, focus on better areas. I don't feel that Proctor is really a weakness at all in their defense.
Right. Well, the thing is, they only have 3 spots on their roster that are less than an 80.
Yeah.
On their starting roles, and that's crazy. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe. It's left tackle, it's the cornerback 2, and it's the linebacker 2.
So this draft is going to pretty much be cake to them. Like they don't really need that many players.
I think it's just going to be for depth with them.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
I see Minitron finally respond. He said lower overalls are really good users on sliders like these. I don't think he can contribute as much as others.
We'll have to see. To see.
Yeah, that's just something we're going to have to see. He said, I think he's going to – this is Awesome Crocodile here saying, I think he's going to repeat what he did. The defense is already good. Everyone else is playing at their top level, so I know that he will do the same. I like that response. I feel the same way. I also like Minitron's response. I mean, that's how he feels about it. Like, at the end of the day, we're just going to have to see what he does. And hopefully this defense doesn't fold because you guys already know how it works in the RFL, man. It doesn't matter an overall is. We've seen 99 overall quarterbacks. For an example, the Sentinels quarterback, Reed Wagner. I mean, that guy, 99 overall, and he could have had a better season. He didn't have a 99 overall season. That's how much he had an okay season at a 99 overall player. Like, and another example is, which I know Mike likes to also result to, is Myles Kerrigan, 72 overall running back. But he led his team all the way to a championship game. Unfortunately, they came up short.
Led his team is an understatement. Like exactly. he carried his team with his feet tied together. Like, dude, like
this guy actually ran for more than he did run for more than half his yard. This guy ran for over 700 yards in the playoffs.
Alone in the playoffs alone.
First game over 200. The next game
72 overall.
And the next game after that, I believe he had another 100-yard game. It was
we got a guess.
Oh yeah, there we go. The head coach of the Huskies right there. I'm an effing problem in the chat, but also
I had to give a clap motivation.
You can always go back to look at our thoughts if you need them for the Huskies team, but man. Team looks pretty solid headed into season 3, man. That's all I can really say.
And if there is anything negative that we said, no shots because your team is 14-2. It's no shots. I promise.
No shots at all. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's. All right. So let's get to your trust or bust.
Okay. So my trust or bust, I think I should go more towards the offensive side of the ball. So let me go ahead and get a look at this offense. The defense, I think, is going to be solid, so there's nothing there. My trust or bust is going to be I'm going to go with Tyrese Maxwell, the receiver. As a matter of fact, my trust or bust is just going to be a group. The offensive line. That's what I'm going to do. The offensive line.
Come on. All right.
Because, I mean, they were okay, but like I said, when they ran the ball, it just seems that sometimes when they were on, but then there was days where they were just terrible. But here's a look. I'll pull it up for you to get a look at it of the offensive lines, overalls and stuff, so that you can just see how they stack.
Minitron is all about the bust.
What do you say, bust again?
Yeah, he's all about the bust. Yeah, man, all about the bust.
Yeah, so here's the offense again. Oh, what happened here?
I'm going to believe in him. I'm going to say trust.
Yeah.
I'm going to say trust. And the reason why is because I think that they they have an off season together. They get to practice, leading up to this season. I think that they know what's at stake. I think the only offensive faults, obviously there were some some minor faults by the quarterback, but you look at the offensive line and there were some problems lying within it. But I think that they're going to pull it out. I think that they're going to come out next year, and I think that the run game is going to be good, and I think that they're going to be, really, really going after that championship because they got a taste of something, whenever they went into that wild card.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you. As far as my take, even on my own trusted bus, I'm looking at this line and I'm like, they look like a solid group. You usually don't have this many 80s even on one team like that on a line. So I'm feeling that at some point these guys going to be asking for too much money and then have to get traded off to another team. But I think that this group will do a better job. I think they're already elite together as a unit and pass blocking. But the challenge for next season is run blocking. Because their running game can get, even though McQuarters did still ball out and have 1,000-yard season, just imagine how much better this team would have been if the run game was just consistent along with the passing game. Because the pass game was always there, in my opinion. I don't think they ever struggled throwing the ball in any game. But running the ball, I think those were the differences in the games that they lost, especially in the Aviators game. That's why, I feel that if the offensive line did a little bit better, allowing McQuarters to run the ball, then I think they would have won. It was a close game, as we said, coming down to the wire. Had they had the running game, maybe they could have been running out the clock on top, and ended up coming out on top of that with the win. So I'm going to say that there's a trust in them. I think that's only one area that they have to work on as a unit, and I think they get the job done.
Smitty, let me ask you something. Do you remember that 2-minute offense right before halftime in that AFC wildcard round?
For the Huskies or the Aviators?
They went down the field in 35 seconds.
Was that the one where they hit him on a slant and guy took it to guy
that was
the whole right there, man. Like that guy, he gets the ball in his hands at any moment. It's just like if you give him any type of space, it's to the house. That's why he's such one of the top receivers in the league. You've got to really look at whenever we break down. That's something that we got to consider whenever we break down other teams in this division. Mm-hmm. Whenever we go through the other teams in this division, we've got to look at the safeties because that's who is really going to be matching up on them, and it's going to be interesting to watch because everybody's going to have their hands full with that. Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna try to pull up something also. Hold up. I'm going to go to the RFL website, and we're going to look at the division that they are in and just try to come up with where you think they will be in next season. What record do you think they'll end up and where they'll be at? So let me go ahead and also pull up. Okay. Got two windows at the same time, so it's kind of crazy. All right, here. So I'm pulling it up. Hopefully I'll see when it comes up.
It's changing right now.
Is it up?
Yep.
Got it. I see Preston. I just now seen you comment. You was commenting earlier? Dang, I didn't get a chance to look at it. But here's a look at the division that these guys are in. And we're looking at the I'm going to change the division name. It is still going to be, I'm thinking about changing it to a different, it's still going to be like the AFC logo and everything. But I'm thinking of changing the name. I don't want the American Football League. I want my own thing. I've got Athletic Football Conference here, but I think I should change that. Probably make it American Simulation Football Conference, probably ASFC or something. That's too much. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, here we are looking at the division of the Huskies. As you can see right here, does it show my arrow actually pointing?
Look at that division, man. That
division is good. Stacked. Look at the records of these guys this season.
The worst team in the division is 8-8.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, in the RFL, most of the seasons are like that because they all teams get an automatic 4-season win. But I'm thinking on the website from now on, I'm going to just take out the 4-season wins on top of it and just make it out of the 12. So that'll be much better. because they aren't playing those games, and there's no point of really putting that in there. And you get unrealistic, pretty much conference records like we see here. But this was probably the best division in the AFC. I mean, the head of the division won the whole championship.
Yep.
So the Red Dragons 15-1 season, and they won their second RFL championship. Underneath there's the Huskies 14-2, only lost to the Red Dragons and the Oklahoma City Bisons, who were 9-7. They were hot at one point, then they ended up losing. I remember. Yeah, they ended up losing games, and they had an opportunity to actually be out to San Antonio Dreadnoughts to get them out of the playoffs and make the spot, but they didn't do it. But they were a good team. So those are the only two losses. Underneath of them was the Orlando Sentinels and the Chicago Cougars. But looking at this conference, I mean, this division, do you guys think, I'm asking everybody here, do you guys think that the Huskies can lead this division next year?
I think they're going to beat out. I think they're going to beat out Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna win the division next year. I know what our next segment is getting into, making the picks and deciding the records. I think next year, I think the tables will turn. I think that Huskies are going to be the ones that are 15-1, and I that's what I'm going to predict for. I'm going to predict 15-1, and I'm going to predict. I'll predict that they win the division.
Yeah. How do you feel as far as you guys think? Well, I'm not even going to go to the championship. Let's just go with the regular season. We're going to stick with the regular season because there's no telling who's going to be in the playoffs, period. Or who's going to win the championship at all next season. But as far as what I think about the Huskies, let's look at the other teams that they have around. Chicago Cougars. I think they have some problems in other areas. We will get to them when we break them down. But I don't feel that they have a shot at being on top. I think they will actually probably be either fourth or third. Then I think it's going to be the same route pretty much with Orlando and Chicago. The Sentinels, they have a pretty good team, but I don't know what goes on.
They're too young. They're too young. They've got a really young team. Young team. They're really inexperienced. They're inexperienced in the playoffs. I don't think that. I think that they're going to be there again. Obviously, until there's things that they got to figure out. We can get to that whenever we break them down. But I think, I really do think that the Toronto Huskies are going to top Los Angeles next year.
Yeah, well, as far as this, for me, that's where it gets sketchy. Because talking about the Huskies, they got a solid offense, solid defense. But let's talk about the champions this season. I mean, the Red Dragons had the best season in RFL history with a 15-1 record and ended up closing out with the championship, knocking off the Diablos 20-13 in the championship game. Great season for them. But the reason why I feel that the Los Angeles Red Dragons might just make it back on top is because their defense is so good. They didn't even have, if you look at their defense, well, it's probably different now. The attributes and everything, the XP they probably earned after all this, they're probably going to be solid, even better next year. But they didn't even have players that great. What's up, good, Preston? They didn't even have players that great, I feel, on defense like that. The corners at first during the start of the season weren't even all that good. Then out of nowhere, they just started strapping guys up, making plays. You got guys like Avante Celestin, number 32, the cornerback, coming up with 2 pick sixes in the playoff game. I mean, making big plays. He jumped up to an 88 overall just off of how he did in the season. So, I mean, he might even get any better. He might start out 90 next season. Like, these guys play way better than their overalls. I feel their defense is really good, and their offense is the key, because I said in season 1 before this season blew up that if this offense was to get any better, that this team could be a championship team. And behold, the next season, their offense does – I'm not going to say it was absolutely fantastic. They did okay, but it was better than last season. And just from that alone, they got themselves to a championship. So I feel I'm not going to – where I'm going to put – I think that the Red Dragons are going to stay on top. That's going to be my final. I think that the Huskies, they're really good and all that. But
we'll have to wait.
I feel – yeah, we're just going to have to see, to be honest. That's all I can say.
All right, so now that the king is back, my predictions, I'm just joking. My predictions, I think the Red Dragons still hold on. I think they still have a tight hold on the top of that division. So I think Red Dragons will be first. The Huskies will finish second.
I think you're both wrong. Where are all my Husky fans at?
I'm actually going to do a change here, though. I think the Cougars will finish third, and the Sentinels will finish fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's not a bad prediction.
We'll break those down whenever we do those episodes.
Yeah. I see Toronto going 13-3. I think they'll have one extra loss.
Yeah, I didn't even give my record. I think they go 12-4. I feel like other teams are going to – I think they'll lose a little bit more games because when you look at Madden 18 compared to Madden 19, I think the competition level is a little bit different. And the way that the games play out, it's going to be a little bit tighter with these sliders that I got. So I feel like the games – like it's going to be – every game is going to pretty much be exciting. And I feel that they got some good teams, but there's other good teams that I feel that they're going to face that could give them a challenge that they could lose to.
I'm saying 15-1. I'm saying 15-1 because of the defense. This defense is going to shut dudes down next year. I'm telling you right now. Even the slot corner is going to shut dudes down.
I don't know if they could shut down the Red Dragons offense twice.
Yeah, I think
I'm not even going to lie. One thing I got to say about the Red Dragons offense, the receivers are twin towers. That's what we about to call them. Because both of them are 6'6". Both of them are 6'6", and they both just bag people every day. Like every game, they just make some crazy plays.
I'm actually excited to talk about the Red Dragons when we get to them. I'm actually really because I've seen some game film on them. I'm really excited to talk about them.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So I think we did the records. As far as the last thing we should get into is the prospects and who we think would be good fits there. Do we have? Can you? I know you've got your computer with you, Smitty. Can you pull up the prospect list again?
Yeah, I had the prospect list right here. I'm gonna go ahead and share it.
Did y'all do the bust the other thing?
Yeah, trust or bust. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I trust Hudson, honestly. I think he'll lead though, but they won't win the division.
Yeah, I think it's still the Red Dragons just gonna have to see, man. It's just that's a tough division.
We can debate this all day.
Yeah,
that's a tough division. So here's the what we're gonna do. Come up with prospects that you think they need.
They don't need QB because Hudson's there.
And so here's the list. You guys already seen from there, so I don't have to pull up the needs list because I don't think there's no point to do that because you guys already seen the rosters and everything. But
I don't know what they need. What do they need?
They need right now. They need. I mean, their lowest three positions are left tackle, linebacker, middle linebacker 2, and cornerback 2. That being said, Smitty and I were talking earlier saying that we don't think that they're going to draft a linebacker because the guy that they have now works really well in their system and he plays really well. He's a 77 overall, and I think that rating doesn't do him justice.
Well, can you go down the cornerbacks real quick? I'm gonna look at the cornerbacks
for the draft.
Yeah,
this is one of the prospects. One of the prospects I had them taking. And God, please don't shoot me if I get this name wrong. But was the
Mahmoud?
Yes, Mahmoud. I want to say it's Aljuni.
I think it's Aljelani.
Well, there's no L in it. It's Aljouni.
No, it's AJL.
Oh, is it AJL?
Yeah, I think that's because I know he's part of the SFL too. I'm pretty
Ajluni.
sure they said his name before. So
Ajluni.
Yeah, and I think he's a part of the Vancouver Legions or whatever over there. So
Mahmoud Ajluni.
Yeah, that dude, player.
That would be crazy. Not for one because neither of the corners on this team are really tall.
Yeah.
It would be really crazy for them to get in, especially when you look at their division. You look at the Twin Towers at Red Dragons. Yeah. If they got a big corner that can compete, 6'5". Might be saying something.
I'm going to go different from you. I'm actually going to go with Gianni Shiloh.
Okay.
Out of Vanderbilt.
Shiloh?
Yeah. I mean, because his awareness, his man coverage, and his speed. I mean,
that was one of the ones we talked about in the previous podcast too.
Yeah, that's why I feel like. Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we talked about him previously.
Or they could draft that 7-footer right there. You know, they could draft him.
He's going to be taller.
Put him
than
up
the
against the
receivers.
Twin Towers.
That's the Eiffel Tower right there. That's not even the Twin Towers. So,
That's hilarious.
As far as who I do think they will take a corner out of this draft. I do not feel that they'll do it at all in the first round, or probably even the second. Of course, that's up to my man's Mark, of course, head coach of the Huskies. I'm gonna have a problem in the comments. But as far as where I think they would go, let me go ahead and pull up my list again of this offense.
Sir. Dinner just arrived, guys.
Actually, I have the offense up. Yeah, so looking at this offense, I think they will go for, like you said, with the offensive lineman, a left tackle. Looking at the tackles in the draft,
that's what I'm saying.
You only got the one tackle. So, I mean, of course, you guys already know once the draft players are gone, it's Madden CPU players. So whoever they draft from there, that's who it is. But what will happen in the draft is you can see right here, tackle. The only tackle from the community that was submitted was Jake Moffitt from Buffalo. Okay. Big Mauler, 6'9", 346. This guy's huge. And so I feel if they do go for a tackle, and like we said, they need somebody who can run block. And I feel if they pick this guy up, look at the run blocking. That's at B. The awareness may need to come up. I mean, at a C-. Impact blocking's at B. This is the guy that they need on the line that's going to be able to help them run the ball. I feel with the rest of the guys who are in the 80s, you know, they already have it pretty much solid, but it looks like they need some more guys who are specialized in run blocking. So that tackle right there, I feel first round, they might go with Jake Moffitt just to strengthen up that offensive line. And so that's how I feel they will go. And if not, I mean, coaches of the RFL do not have to pick a submitted draft player. They can completely skip a guy and go to the Madden player. So that's how I'm going to talk more about that when the draft comes up. But
I just think that I don't know. I just think that the tackles are going to be there in the second round. Yeah, I think that the skill players. I mean, I think that you should go for a skill player, the best player available, and that's why originally, in my mock draft, if you look at the mock draft originally, I had them taking Ryan Moxon.
Yeah,
I had them taking tight end Ryan Moxon.
Ryan Moxon right here from Tennessee. Vertical threat 6'6", 269.
Yes, because not just for obviously for another red zone threat, but also because of any kind of running two tight end schemes and having an extra blocker for running. He's a big dude. You know what I mean? So that's something that would really obviously help them out. That's why I had them picking Ryan Moxon. But yeah, I think between them, I don't know where I see them. I don't know what I see them picking. I guess that really falls on the coach. He's going to be, the deciding factor on what they want to run. But if I was the coach of the Huskies, I would tell you right now, I would probably take up Mahmoud Ajluni.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see
their corners are good. But think about moving. Okay, so think about moving. I mean, because at that point you would just take Lewis. You would take Lewis Curry, and you would move him to the slot. Then you have lockdown on every receiver that's out on the field.
Yeah, that would be dominant. That would be crazy right there. That crazy bunch. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's between the corner and the lineman.
Because I could see the lineman too. I could see the lineman because that is a weak spot in them in their offensive line.
And you know what? To be honest, I'm gonna go all the way on the corner. The reason why I'm gonna say they probably need the corner is because looking at the line, they're good. They throw the ball. I don't think they even care that much if the run game. The guys still without the line really being good at run blocking still rush for over 1,000 yards. So that might be the least problem that they have to worry about. So I do agree with you. I do feel they should take in the first round a corner that can strap up, and we have a ton of them in this draft. So I feel like either one of those guys that were mentioned, Mahmoud Ajluni.
But I would take Mahmoud just because of the height with the Twin Towers in their division.
Yeah, and I would agree with you with that because that's who they got to. That's what they got to worry about is the division. They got 6'6" guys on the outside, and
I think the biggest
from what I've
accomplishment or
seen,
the biggest challenge for the Huskies in 2018 is going to be beating the Red Dragons twice.
yeah. And I don't feel that they're going to do it, but I feel it's going to be just like how it was last season, where both of them get a win. Remember, the only loss that the Red Dragons had were to the Huskies, so they're the only problem.
That's such a good matchup.
Yeah, so that's going to be something to watch all season next season. The Red Dragons, the Husky game. That might be the biggest games of the week every time. Like that's a good matchup. But
yep.
Yeah,
but I think that pretty much covers it. As far I think that corners what they need. There's a lot of corners though. There really is. I think that they will take a corner in the first round. And there is a lot of corners. There's a lot of good corners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where really it's not not an issue. But that's a good thing, because I think that you're going to see defense. I mean, in the RFL in general, I think you're going to see a lot more lockdown corners this year because of how many user submitted corners, like good corners, we have in this draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's each. I guarantee you that I would say that at least the top. I would go ahead and say the top 10 are going to get picked in the draft. I would say, just because. I mean, you can never have enough depth. And that's a really, really hard skill position. And it's too easy. And there's too many good receivers in this league that you're going to get burned by if you don't have good corners.
I'm back.
So, what's good, bro? I didn't even know you left, bro. I didn't even know.
Yeah, Mike sent me a nice little text message, so I had to, mute up real quick.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where they would go with the rounds. I feel they need the corner. They need the offensive lineman. And other than that,
do you think they'll draft the offensive lineman, or you think they'll get a junior?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they'll draft an offensive lineman.
Hey, Cito. Hey, okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I don't know if I can't screen share. Hey, okay, can you click on my? Hold on. Let me see. 1 second. Where's my call? Oh shoot. Hold on. Why does it not show it where I'm at right now? Well, okay, Cito, by the way, I did have you as my third prospect for the Huskies.
I feel he's safety, right? He's a safety?
Yeah.
Let me bring back up the list. Yeah, he's a safety.
Yeah, look at okay. Can you click on Smitty, on your screen? Can you click on mine?
Yeah, I just clicked on it.
Okay, hold on. Now let me do this. Okay, let me do screen share. Hold on. All right, here we go.
I see somebody just came through. About being B86, I believe that's your channel name. He said recently came across your channel. Awesome overall piece of work, especially commentary. Unfortunately, Madden is behind. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Madden definitely needs to step it up. But thanks, man. Appreciate you finding this channel. It's going to be so much in the future for this league, man. I mean, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to submit a player. I would have pushed that to you, but next season, which will be coming up in March or after the draft, the submissions for players will be open again. So you'll see. Stick with the community. There's a lot that's going to be coming.
Do we have a definitive date for the draft now?
As far as how the draft is going to go, we'll talk about that a little bit, but we're going to look at this thing real fast. Whoa, what's going on here?
Okay, yeah. Did you see that? Okay, check this out. Hold on. You can click on mine.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see it
now. I think we can see it now. I see it on my page. I clicked on it. Okay.
Yeah.
It came up.
Okay, cool. So Cito, you can see that right there.
Yeah, you can see that's his prospects right there.
That's my prospects right there. I put you on there.
Said they go with Moxon, Cito next, and then Ajelani. I don't think Ajelani is even going to be around in the third round for them. So I feel
no. This isn't based on 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
This is just potential first. This is as of now, I would put Mahmoud Ajluni in Yeah, at the top, and then probably Cito Torres second, and then tight end Ryan Moxon. But you know what, Ryan? If I will say this, if Ryan Moxon is available in the second round or the third round, whenever they get to him, I would say take him, just because it would be good for the Huskies offense to have a 2 tight end set.
Yeah, and that's why I feel it's going to be a struggle, because at the end of the day, the reason why it's going to be a struggle for them is because let's go take a look back at this list again, man. I'm going to go back to me real fast. I'm going to show you guys what is going to happen in the draft, what the coaches will have to do, what the CPU will do when they choose players. So looking at the tight ends, where am I at? Okay, the tight ends right here. Ryan Moxon, #1 ranked tight end in the draft. All right. Now that means he's the #1 vertical threat tight end. So it means if the CPU picks a vertical threat tight end, that's the team that drafts him. Okay, so right. If the CPU in that order, it means like if the first vertical draft tight end gets picked up, if in the draft a vertical tight end gets picked up, then that's him. The next one will be the next vertical draft tight end in the list. So that's how it goes for CPU. For coaches, though, they get to select, but at the end of the day, that takes a vertical tight end out of the draft.
Right.
So the reason why I feel he won't go past the first round at all is because I feel that in the first round, there's going to be one team out of the 32 from CPU or a coach that's going to pick a vertical threat tight end in the draft. That's why I feel that way. Or second, he might go. That's why I feel he's not going to last long at all. He's going to get picked up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely think he's probably going to go early. I would say mid. I'm going to project him going within the first 15 rounds, definitely.
And the guy that I really feel is going to get drafted probably before him is the second tight end, because there's a lot of balanced tight ends. Yeah, there's a lot of balanced tight ends that are in the draft usually. So, I mean, the first balanced tight end is Ronnie Cam. So the CPU picks up a balanced tight end, there goes Ronnie Cam right there before Ryan Moxon. So like I said, it doesn't matter about what order your player's in. If that player type is picked up and you're the first on the list in that player type or the next on the list, you're drafted. That's how it works for CPU.
Right. Well, that's awesome. I think that I'm excited for the draft. Now let's I mean, just out of curiosity, how many people? Let's see, we've got 9 people watching right now. Can we get those 9 people to comment on here and say what team we should go for next?
Oh yeah. Preston just says spaghetti is amazing. He must have been showering.
Yeah, he's been numbing, bro. Preston, you don't count. You don't count, man. Preston, you don't count. All right, guys. Okay, whatever team you want to see next.
And in case you guys need to see the teams you just don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up from the website.
God, this is crazy. Okay, so we got Condors, we got Voyagers, we got Bulldogs, we got Thunderbirds, we got Tigers.
I'm not sure if the thing came up yet. Carl already said where I thought that Ronnie Cam will go. Ronnie Cam, I feel, is for sure going in the first round.
Yeah,
because he's the top balanced tight end, and I believe there's going to be some team out of the first round. But then again, now that I think about it,
we got 2 on Tigers. Sorry.
Dang, we got 4 on. No, it's one guy.
No, it's one guy. Okay, no.
Okay, kid.
You're about to get Tigers disqualified if you comment all the time.
Yeah, the Tigers got 1 vote.
They got 2.
We got 2.
They do have 2.
My guy. I just came up with the Tigers too. So Tigers got 2. We got Thunderbirds 2. No, 1 for Bulldogs.
No, Preston.
He keeps in the red dragon. Where do you think? Okay, you already said that.
As of right now, Tigers are the only ones with 2.
You said the Tigers?
Yeah, Tigers are the only one with 2. So we're going with Tigers.
Yep. So we're gonna go with the Chicago.
Thunderbirds have 2.
Well, no.
Thunderbirds, yeah, they do got 2.
Oh, okay.
Condors, no, he said.
Well, yeah, we can go with the Celtic Tigers. I'm all right with that.
No, that's the Chicago.
No, there's two different ones. Chicago Tigers and Celtic Tigers.
Chicago.
I think Chicago Tigers will be good because
I don't think nobody really knows much at all about them.
No. Let's do that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun watching film on them.
As we can see here, let's just look a little brief before we get to them, just to show where they are. They're on the NFC side of the RFL.
Wow, they finished second in the division
in the East, and they were 10-6. So they were pretty good, and I don't feel nobody really paid attention to these guys at all.
Wow, that whole division finished over 500.
Yeah, most of the teams in the RFL did, but every team gets an automatic 4 wins. So when you really look at this, the Tigers really finished 6-6. So maybe I boosted them up a little bit. But on the website from now on, what I will do is only count the RFL games. I'm not going to count the NFL 4 games that they get from now on. So that way everybody can get a clear image of where they really are. But
the next thing I wanted to ask everybody on the live chat, how often do you guys want us to do these podcasts? Because we can do them. I just want to. We've got to get them done before the draft, and we've got.
I can do 2 to 3 a week.
Yeah, apparently I can do them anywhere because I didn't even think that this internet at college where I'm at right now,
it's holding up good.
Yeah, so I guess it's good for podcasts as far as streaming. No, so
it's horrible when you stream.
Yeah, but that's okay.
From college, it was horrible.
It's good. I want to do the podcast just so people have something to listen to and have things that keep interest.
I say 2 to 3 times a week.
Twice a week. I think twice a week would be good.
Yeah, twice a week sounds pretty good. I'll try to game plan for that. Of course, I got work, so what I will do, me and Preston and Mike are going to talk because there's going to be some times where I probably won't be able to be on a podcast show. So I would definitely be cool with these guys hosting it without me there, So trying to figure out how we're going to do it though, because I really don't want to give off not that I don't trust these guys, but just giving out your account information, just that's got to think about that. So.
No. We'll do another account. I can just do another account and we can link it, or we could do it on a different, and not do it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
And then maybe I could just make a video on the channel, I won't be there. Go watch the podcast here.
Yeah.
And then you guys could just get it. Put the link in the description. Click on it, and you guys,
there's so many places you can do it. You have Twitch. You have there's so many other areas you can go to do podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I think that pretty much concludes it. So much for our 20-minute time frame.
Yeah, I was really trying to. I knew I was going to do this every time. No lie to y'all. Every time that we did a live stream of a podcast, it was supposed to last 20 to 30 minutes, and it's always pushed over an hour or so. My bad for that, you guys. But appreciate you guys coming through, man.
We got. What is this? Y'all got mad skills, bro. Nice. Thanks, man. Yeah, Blog Talk Radio, too. Hey, thank you, B-Bow being.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, I'm going to call you triple B. Well, quadruple Bs. You got 4 Bs.
Yeah.
quadruple B86. That's too much to say. I'm just call you 86, man. So, but appreciate you coming through.
We have fun with this, man. We really do have fun with this. It's a good thing. It's really cool to be able to put strategy behind everything.
Yeah,
football is family.
Absolutely.
Said B-Bout. Yeah,
and go Patriots.
B-Bout. That sounds better.
B-Bout. There we go. Thanks, B-Bout.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. I'm coming by and checking this out, man. Hope to see you in the future. And appreciate all you guys coming through for this live stream of this podcast. Really
more to come.
Support. Definitely more to come, as Mike said. We're going to make sure that we boost up some hype for this upcoming season. It should be a great one. But that's going to do it, you guys, and we will see you guys on the next podcast.
We are off to Chicago. We are off to Chicago next podcast, and maybe we'll grab some hot dogs.
Maybe.
Go Patriots.
Like the hot dog guy. See, now that's when I should have just ended the live stream as soon as he brought up the Patriots.
Some hot dogs.
I already know they're going to win the Super Bowl, man. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I don't even like the Eagles either. I just hate the Super Bowl, period. But the Eagles, they're a good team. They're gonna get punched on by the Patriots, bro. That's just how I feel, man. Hopefully they prove me wrong. But yeah, I'm blathering right now, just saying anything. But let me go ahead and close this out, and I'll see you guys next time.
Later. Much love, RFL.
Peace.